All right, let's jump right into this explainer. We're taking a critical Bombardier Q400 emergency procedure and turning it into an absolute memory drill. If you're operating the Q400, or honestly, even if you're just fascinated by how cockpit emergencies are handled, you know that when things go sideways, there is absolutely zero time to go hunting through a manual. You need pure instant recall. So today, we're zeroing in on one specific high-stress scenario, the rudder trim actuator runaway. We're going to take the raw technical source material and transform it into a simple mental framework that you will literally never forget. Okay, so this is the exact, unedited text from the manual that we're going to master today, word for word. At first glance, it just looks like standard technical jargon, right? It's just a dense block of text. But in the heat of the moment, trying to remember left lower CROB panel -F7 or the specific conditional triggers, well, that can be incredibly tough. So we're not just going to read this, we're going to decode it. We'll break this exact text down into bite-sized sequential pieces and apply some dedicated memory tricks to completely lock it into your brain. Here's our game plan for this explainer. First, the rudder trim runaway emergency. Second, step 1, counter the runaway. Third, the condition, neutral or unreversible. Fourth, step 2, pull the breaker. Fifth, the final cockpit indicator. And finally, a quick Q400 memory tricks review. Let's start with Section 1, the rudder trim runaway emergency. Moving right along to Section 2, Step 1, counter the runaway. The very first instruction in the manual is to apply rudder trim opposite to the runaway. This is your initial instinctive physical defense. You feel that runaway and you immediately counter it. Now, for our memorization technique, I want you to grab onto that word opposite. That gives us the very first letter of our memory trick, O for opposite. Lock that O in your mind. Section 3, the condition, neutral or unreversible. This step defines our exact condition to proceed. The source text explicitly says you take the next step when trim is at the neutral position, or if the trim actuator cannot be reversed. Basically, you're hunting for that neutral state. And that gives us the letter N for neutral, the second piece of our memory puzzle. So far, we've got O for opposite and N for neutral. You act opposite and then you wait for neutral. On to Section 4. Step 2, pull the breaker. Okay, so once that neutral or unreversible condition is met, the manual explicitly directs us to pull the rudder trim actuator circuit breaker. The action here is definitively to pull the breaker, to kill the power to that runaway actuator. This locks in P for pull in our sequence. We now have O, N, P, opposite, neutral, pull. But the manual doesn't just say pull it, it tells you exactly where to find it. To instantly recall this specific breaker location in the Q400, I want you to use this spatial trick. Look lower for 7. The text specifically calls out the left lower CB panel F7. In a real emergency, scanning panels takes precious seconds. By associating the action with the phrase look lower for 7, your eyes and hands are automatically going to jump to that lower panel and find the F7 slot. It completely bypasses the need to try and visualize some complex technical diagram. Just remember, look lower for 7. Section 5, the final cockpit indicator. Now, check out this really critical note at the very end of the source text. Notice the contrast here. Despite your initial action of applying trim opposite to the runway, the manual explicitly points out that the pointer will indicate full right trim position. This is the final piece of the puzzle. It's an indicator you absolutely must expect to see because it confirms the state of the system after the breaker is pulled. This specific call out to the right position gives us the final R for a memory sequence. And finally, Section 6, our Q400 memory tricks review. Let's see how this all builds into our custom sequence. Step 1, you apply opposite trim. Step 2, you wait until it's neutral. Step 3, you pull the breaker. Step 4, you expect the indicator to show full right. Opposite, neutral, pull, right. O, N, P, R. By combining the mnemonic stay on par with our location trick look lower for 7, you have perfectly memorized the entire source text without adding a single outside step. Think about it. If you're flying a Q400 and a rudder trim runaway actually occurs, your brain just needs to flash stay on par. O for opposite, N for neutral, P for pull, R for right. And when you get to P for pull, you immediately look lower for 7 to find that F7 breaker on the left lower panel. It's simple, it's direct, and it covers every single mandatory action and condition listed in the manual. So I'll leave you with this final question to test your recall. If your Bombardier Q400 rudder trim runs away today, are you ready to stay on par? When emergencies happen, structured, instantly accessible information is absolutely your best tool. Thank you for joining this explainer. Keep this simple mental framework in your back pocket, and you'll always be ready to stay on par.